Conflict. Chapter 16. Welcome to the Para-Humans online message boards. You are currently logged in, Ladybug Lady. Topic: A new thread. In Board's Death of the Cymurg, no more S-class threats, huge changes in Protectorate. Bagrat, original poster, the guy in the know, veteran member. Posted on April 22, 2011. There have been a lot of things that went down since the historical press conference with Atrus and Pandora. Cymurg decided to try and stop the duo from another universe. Atrus didn't like that. Punched her so hard that she started to break apart, killed her in space. I never thought this would happen, ever, but we have the first Endbringer kill, the Cymurg. Pandora was kind enough to record that incredibly one-sided fight. Atrus was literally untouched by whatever she did and died within like 5 to 10 minutes. The next day he turns up to Ellisbug, turn the city into freaking planetoid and blasts it to oblivion. Then he restores the place. The footage was very cool. After that he goes to Siberia and kill the sleeper. Unfortunately there is no footage of this, but the people have made sure. The sleeper is dead. This is guys, no more S-class threats other than the last two Endbringers, and from what we saw in the fight with the Cymurg, they're as good as dead. Oh, and the fallen are gone. Pandora and the guild rolled over them. Pandora, and occasionally Atrus, has started teaching us what she is willing to teach, and by the gods the scientific community is going nuts. You can find articles online about just how revolutionary this stuff is. Many engineers and doctors and so on just can't wait to put this stuff into practice. We are going to be seeing a huge technological leap in the coming few years. The Triumvirate have all stepped down from leadership positions yesterday. Chevalier and Murden are the new leader and vice leader. Independent heroes are registering for a new system which allows the cooperation between them and the PRT to go very smoothly, and they can now help each other more seamlessly. PRT Chief Director Rebecca Costa Brown has also stepped down, and the new CD is Director Armstrong. The all-new Mary's initiative was shown, which doesn't even require a Rouge to join the PRT as a member, although they have that option. Simply register and take advantage of the vast network and connections to carry out your business. It seems they are going to revisit the laws that were taken down to stop para-human businesses, and Rouges are going to become a lucrative career for any para-human who is uninterested in becoming a hero or villain. Dragon helped Canary win the case against her today morning and publicly apologized to her for not being able to help her earlier. A lot of heroes have gone on record trying to fix the reputation of people who were judged or branded as villains unfairly since this, and it has been going strong. This moth just seems like it's going to get better and better. Things are looking up for us, my friends. This is a lovely time to be alive. All links here, links. String Girl replied on April 22, 2011. I spat out my juice when I saw the fight in between Atrus and Ziz. On one side you a planetary force that has been granted the greatest title in his freaking galaxy-wide human empire. On the other side you have a lil white big lady who fkooks with people head. No competition. Dimos, Wiki Warrior replied on April 22, 2011. That was an epic beatdown, so satisfied she got what was coming, at least she got free trip to space. Same for Nilbogue, sucker died with his kingdom chalking the shit out of him. Sad there is no footage for Sleeper, but he's gone as well, so it's okay. The changes made to the leadership and the current attitude of the heroes is awesome. Admitting your mistakes is the first step to improving, so I really like where this new admin is heading. Chrome replied on April 22, 2011. Yup, the Canary case was a farce. I'm glad she got out of trouble. So many heroes are trying to help the para-humans unjustly called villains is awesome. That is what a true hero should be like. I'm loving this new Protectorate. Miss Mercury, Protectorate employee, replied on April 22, 2011. There have been a lot of changes made within the organization as a whole as well. I for one really like the Indies and us have a strong united front against the threats. It's a great time to be working for the PRT right now. White Collar, Cape Wife. Replied on April 22, 2011. I too am so happy with what is going with the PRT as a whole right now. With all the S-classes gone and an endbringer down, I feel that better days are about to start for us as a whole. Brockton Bay, downtown. I'm finally free, Lisa thought to herself. When she went to bed last night, she did not expect that Coyle would get caught by the heroes, and she definitely didn't expect them to call the Undersiders. They were given an apology for letting him get away with threatening her and forcing or using their circumstances against them to get them into villainy. They were all given a slap on the wrist and asked to turn to a new leaf, maybe start an independent hero group since they were already a team, and join the new support system for independent heroes. They all agreed that it would be for the best, as the PRT knew everything there is to know about them. Staying a villain will simply invite trouble at this point. Gru got sister, Regent is happy with his old man dead, and his friend has been working with the authorities for helping her save dogs. She was one of the people given a public apology by the new PRT. She herself got offers for helping the PRT in solving cases for cash, which was amazing. After the death of the Simurgh, people also looked a lot more happier, as if a burden had been lifted of their shoulders. Things truly were changing for her and everyone else. Brockton Bay, Broadwalk. Taylor was mesmerized as she saw the compilation somebody posted online of all the fights a Truce was ever a part of. Many people called him invincible, as he truly never lost a single fight he had ever been in. She was a little ashamed when Lisa, Dinah, and her dad teased about her hero worship for both him and Pandora. She had just come to get a coffee after deciding to register herself not only for the new indie support system but also the new Miris. She had the chance of meeting Perian in one of her patrols and started talking about things. Perian exclaimed that she could sell her services as an exterminator as a joke, but the idea really stuck with her. She could definitely use the money, as the new system would allow her to withdraw her Cape Identity cash without compromising herself. She got in talks with a few companies and all were excited to work alongside her and sent her various documents underlining what she would have to do and what she would earn. This was definitely new territories for her, so she finally decided to come out in the open about her heroics to her dad. He should be happy that so far she got into only 4 Cape fights, which she won, mostly. For the first time in a long time, Taylor felt that things were looking up for her. Brockton Bay, ABB territory. Lung has not had a good day for quite some time now. Ever since he was saved by the man from a different universe, things have not been the same for any villain. His brutal killing of the people who dared oppose him, even with superior numbers on their side, was scary and humbling. People always talk about his strength for holding back the Leviathan as a great achievement, but even he couldn't do what that being did, especially to whatever Murdnag turned into. Then the constant wiping out of all the S-classes. There was no better way for him to solidify his place at the top. By killing the greatest threats in the world, he showed everyone just how weak they were compared to him. When he brought back Kyushu, he felt a very odd feeling within his gut. Had his mother been here, she would have cheered wildly, but all he felt acceptance of the fact that he was truly on a different scale of existence. When he finally revealed his origins, it made sense to him. This was a person who had waged wars across planets and galaxies. We all were just tiny little insignificant insects to him he decided to entertain because he was stuck here. It was only made more evident by how easily he dealt with the Ziz. It wasn't even a fight, he gave that thing opportunities to hit as hard as she could, all in vain. With the new changes in the PRT, it was evident that the status quo was going to be shaken. They don't have to worry about the Endbringers or S-class threats from diverting their attention. The age where villains could do whatever they wanted was coming to a close. Things were beginning to change, and while people celebrated this change, he knew that this change was not good for him. Brockton Bay, Medhall Corporation HQ. Hook Wolf was gone, Cricket and Storm Tiger barely got away from being captured themselves. The fool had to go mess with Parian, which was noticed by the Undersiders who became an independent hero team recently. Once Hookwolf saw this, he started to throw a fit and picked a fight with everyone. The Undersiders used the new support system and called the PRT, who sent Dauntless and Triumph to aid them, and that idiot still tried to fight all these capes with just Cricket and Storm Tiger on his side. The fool got caught after a very short fight. The worst part was that this might be the final chance Hookwolf had. The changes made to PRT made it very clear that they are going to be taking action a lot more than the previous leadership. Caden had left the Bay with Theo and Aster, registered with the PRT and moved to Boston. Although not outright said, one could feel that the unwritten rules were being changed, in some instances outright removed, especially keeping villains out of the jail for Endbringer fight. You don't need that since you have a super cape killing Endbringers and S-classes left and right. The independents were also getting support from the PRT without having to give their freedom and still receive some benefits, which meant a lot more heroes were going to show up. Krieg was telling him how the Gesellschaft were taking big hits now that the three blasphemies were not alive to keep everyone's attention away from them. Glyph and Poe of the guild were sent a request to help cut down their numbers, and maybe the entire guild could show up to help the vigilantes and heroes to put the down for good. The Bay was changing as well, everything was changing, and Max couldn't help but think how to get out of this mess himself, as the situation for villains were getting worse, as they were for the first time slowly being pressured by the heroes in a way they had never seen before. York, Skeldergate Bridge, UK. Near the bridge was a shabby and worn-down shack in which lived one Kevin Norton, the man who commanded the warrior entity's avatar Zion, or as he knows it, Scion. Scion descended to the shack below with an impassive face as waited for Kevin to step out. "Scion, my golden hero. How are you? And how is the heroing and helping around the world going?" he asked joyfully as Scion simply watched him without an expression on his face. Kevin, used to such things, carried on. "Good, good, I got a chance to see you stopping that fire in South Korea. You truly saved all those people, Golden Man, good job," he said happily, to which Scion nodded, pleased at meeting his objectives. "But you can't lose the speed now, hero, you finally have some competition." "A man from across the stars, I kid you not, he did a lot to help the people since he's come here, Scion." "A lot like you," Kevin exclaimed, to which Scion tilted his head. "You gotta keep up, mate, otherwise the young un will overtake you in heroing," he laughed out as Scion nodded. "He recently killed an Endbringer. Can you believe that? I never thought one of those things could die, but he did it." "You try your best as well, Scion, next time you see an Endbringer you kill that thing," he said, punching his palm in excitement as Scion nodded in understanding. "I've heard the kids talk about how this Atrus is the strongest man and the greatest hero, but they've forgotten about you, Scion. You were the original hero, the strongest man. You gotta show the world that some new guy can't simply take that away from you, you need to be a greater hero than him." Kevin shouted out, throwing his hands up in excitement, happy that Scion had somebody he could compete with. "Well, go on, you've paid enough attention to this fool's blabbering," he chuckled out. "You go show everyone that you're the top hero, Golden Man," he said as Scion nodded and slowly ascended up into the sky. His directives were clear: he needed to be a better hero, to show his competition that his was number one, to be faster, and finally to kill an Endbringer. Now if he could only find out just who this Atrus is. Over the next week the world saw Scion going around the world helping even more people than before, sparking the whole Atrus vs Scion debates to go on a rise again, especially since Atrus had stopped appearing in public since he killed the S-class threats. The people who now knew of his true nature watched in caution as their true enemy paraded around acting the role of the hero and being loved by the people for it. 1 week after Scion's heroics increased. The month of May arrived, 1 month since Atrus came to Earth. Bet. Atrus, it's on schedule. The Leviathan is heading towards Brockton Bay and will reach there in a few minutes, Pandora's voice called out as Atrus woke up from his meditation. "So it is here. I wonder if this Eidolon's doing or some other higher power that made sure that I will face the Leviathan in a month's time," he said out loud, wondering the truth. He shook his head and said, "It doesn't matter, if it is a higher power then there is nothing I can do about, I'll just kill the thing and go about my day. He shrugged as Pandora giggled at his antics. He stopped suddenly and asked, you were able to find Zion's main body, right? Yes, it took a while, but all those charges you spent on those specializations really helped. Why do you ask? Pandora asked him curiously. Keep all the entity-killing weapons online, at any given time you should be able to open the portal and kill him instantly, he told her seriously. What's the matter? She asked him, not understanding the sudden request. He looked at Earth with a gleam in his eyes as he said, I have a feeling we're approaching the endgame here. Thanks for watching.